Greetings and salutations one and all, and welcome back to another edition of the DVD Shelf Foreign Flix, the show that would rather high-five a good movie than turn a bad one into stone. Every movie I feature is one that I enjoy. However, not all films are created equal, which is why I will use this scale to rate them. Today I have a worthy submission into the found footage genre that hails us from Norway. That's right, it is the 2010 film Trollhunter. Now we all know that the found footage genre has gotten a little tedious. Oh, shaky cam, so scary. Well, this film breathes new life into what has become a stale and predictable genre.
Hva faen dere ute etter? Dere vil filme meg mens jeg står og sier at det finnes troll?
Now, found footage films aren't exactly new, but it was the 1999 box office hit, The Blair Witch Project, that really kick-started the genre in our pop culture. Even though, before that had come the 1980 cannibal holocaust that was so effective that many people thought it was real, and the director was even accused and tried for murdering the crew on film. That was up until the murdered crew showed up in court to show that they were still alive and it was all fake.
Watch it, Alan, I'm shooting. Oh, good Lord. It's unbelievable. It's horrible. I can't understand the reason for such cruelty.
Now, even though the Blair Witch Project became a box office smash hit, it took a few years until the found footage genre really gained a solid foothold. Whereas there were about 7 or so found footage style movies between the 1980 Cannibal Holocaust and the 1999 Blair Witch Project, there were double that between Blair Witch and 2007, when the found footage genre really blew up with such releases as Paranormal Activity and Wreck, amongst many others. Since that 2007 boom, there have been approximately 75 found footage films released around the world, including big titles such as Cloverfield, small budget hits like Paranormal Activity series, and movies from classic horror directors such as George Romero's Diary of the Dead, amongst many, many, many others, big and small. So many that this will actually not be the only foreign found footage film I will be featuring. God, that was a lot of F's. One such film is Trollhunter, which mixes impressive CGI that Cloverfield attempted to some eerie moments that the Blair Witch Project attempted, and a dash of humor. And if you ask me, I think it works.
Det ingen her som tror på Gud eller Jesus.
Trollhunter follows a group of student filmmakers who are looking into a rash of bear killings, only to come across real-life trolls and the titular troll hunter, Hans. The students then travel with Hans, learning the ways of the trolls and troll hunters, which have been working tirelessly to keep the troll's existence hidden from the rest of the world. That's basically it for the story. Now, I do have a hard time classifying this in any one genre. It has some horror elements, but it isn't really a horror movie. It has some sci-fi or fantasy elements, but it's not really a fantasy movie. It has some humor, but it's definitely not a straight-up comedy. It mixes all of these elements together and covers it in a found footage wrapper, leaving us with a fun little treat that should appeal to many.
Prøvde å spise opp halen sin. Stod med huet mellom beina med den lange nesa som stod ut. Prøvde å tre seg inn på sin egen hale. Og så da han svelget unna nesten hele halen, så fikk han ikke opp igjen. Så da veltet han opp på siden, og så trillet han nedover et fjell som et hjul omtrent.
Now, the one problem that every single found footage film suffers from is, why the hell do they keep filming? If some 20-foot tall troll was chasing me, I'd drop the camera and run like hell. Fuck that whole, we need to film it for the world to see bullshit. I'm out. And this movie is no exception. However, it makes it more plausible over something like Cloverfield by not putting the group in such constant and intense peril. Is there danger for them? Sure, but it's done in such a way that it's much more believable for them to continue filming for the most part. So you might have to suspend your disbelief a bit when they keep filming in certain parts, but in my opinion, it's not as severe as the aforementioned Cloverfield or Diary of the Dead. Also to the movie's aid is the comedy element. This is not meant to be a straight-up horror film like many of its kind are, and that allows us to give it a bit more leeway when it comes to our suspense of disbelief. As I mentioned before, this film combines CGI with the handycam work synonymous with found footage films. The CGI in this case is that of the trolls, of which we see many, unlike the movie Troll 2, in which we just see a bunch of goblins and no trolls. Now that's part of the humor of the whole thing, as these student filmmakers discover that these fairy tales they grew up with are actually true, and that goes farther than just the look and existence of the trolls in the first place. But the trolls also turn into stone in the sunlight, there's trolls that are as big as mountains, and some of these little touches and nods to Norwegian folklore might be lost on us foreign audiences who did not grow up with the same folklore. But it certainly doesn't hinder our enjoyment of the film.
I Asbjørnsen og Moe-eventyrene så går jo troll, de går jo med klær, og de snakker som folk, og de jo som folk.
Du kan bare glemme eventyrene, for unge. Troll dyr, rovdyr. Spiser og driter og parer seg og eter alt de kommer over.
And now for the rating. What we have here is a movie that doesn't try to take itself too seriously, allowing itself to make good use of the found footage genre. Now, amongst the sea of found footage films in the past decade, this is one that I think works the best in the genre and provides a fun, though imperfect, ride. So, I give it a 4. Check it out when you get a chance. And when you watch it, remember, don't take it too seriously. And for those seeking it out, you are able to find it pretty easily on Amazon, which is where I acquired my Blu-ray copy here. Well, that'll do it for this episode. For the DVD Shelf Foreign Flix, this is Sheriff Gene Freak, reminding all you Christians out there not to sweat around a troll.